last night. Crackhead. It looked like I was tweaking. I had no idea. No idea how busted I looked. But I've been busy working, dealing with the stress of what's been happening now with the videos, with YouTube, and now it's fierce. However, though, surprisingly, I'm rather calm. I think I had to get to a point in which I had to say, okay, Fernando, now I see where the Sagittarian solar eclipse, Sagittarius, kicked in, and how I had to make some very powerful decisions. I had to make some very powerful decisions. And when I spoke to the investigator, and he was saying, well, Mr. Prudhomme, these kinds of things happen to wealthy people, and you are now part of that club. Even though you don't have the money, you have a company that's worth millions, and this is part of their attacking you. Your name is not very big. And I'm thinking, it can't be. I only got 49K. I don't got 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. I don't see myself like that. I don't think I'm famous or things like that. That's too small. Maybe that's a good thing. Because I'm already too much on the pride side, So maybe that's a good thing that I don't. But all I want to do is just be with my subscribers, talk to my subscribers, do my job. I'm a shaman. This is what I do. This is no charge, unless it's a service that leads to a charge. This is just free stuff that is spiritual. This is not supposed to be happening to me. I'm not out there to be some kind of a tycoon, money. No, I'm basically a spiritual person doing spiritual work, and my specialty is content. And they're like, well, you could tell that the officer, the investigator, because I'm still dealing with the FBI, because it's gravitating. So he's like, you could tell he wasn't even interested. He's like, please, fuck you, motherfucker. Or once they see the net worth and the money that can be made, they put us all in the same category. I say, I'm just very blessed that I'm able to have resources to be able to help further the mission. It's not about that, because as far as I say, I don't even buy anything for myself. You all know that. I used to buy just my food and my drugs, like weed and alcohol, but I don't even do that no more. So I got to find something to entertain myself. So it's not all what's cracked up to be. If anything, it's more of a responsibility than anything. And let me tell you something. That video on the outcome that I did last night, and I'm fussing because I did something's wrong with the lights, something's wrong with the sound, it's too smoggy. When I saw the video, do you know that it was pristine, clean, clear? But when I looked at the video, as I'm going through the process of putting in shit, it was cloudy, gray. The demon did that to make me distracted, to continue to fierce. So, but today's Sunday, I got him good. This is a high-level demon. And when you're when you're in the public eye, and you do great things, and you have good content, and you got great followers, making money, the evil side, the opposite polarity kicks in. Look what we got here. Oh, yes, he's doing very well. How many? 50,000 people. Wow. He's influencing that many people? You mean they listen to him? Even though he drinks and drugs, they still listen to him? Oh, I'm going to have to change that. Let's make him less responsible. Let's make him lose credibility. Attack his business. Attack the communication. Put enemies. Create adversity. And let every success be met with pain and tragedy. As long as you don't touch his life, do what you want. That's one of my soldiers. He's tough. He's cut up for the job. And the saying goes, we'll see. That's how I see it. That's how I see it in my head. No different than Job being tempted. Nothing is new under the sun. All has been done, redone, re-experienced before. Just different characters, the same story. All right? How's everybody doing? And Sunday I have to do something. Something. You all know I'm Muslim. You know that. But then I became a Muslim, then I became a Buddhist. I was born Catholic. And then initiated into the mysteries to the Yoruba pantheon because I didn't know at the time that it runs in my bloodline from a family of priests like the Israel and the Levite priests. In fact, they dressed kind of something similar to this when the feminine used to rule the ages. No longer does the feminine rule the ages, but that's coming back. So, classifications of archon. Well, before we begin, let me see. Let me put this here. Oh, let me get Mr. Magoo. I don't know, the light's not working. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, I don't know what is going on here. Hold on. Let me put just a little further back. Okay. Let me get Mr. Magoo. And let's see if this is a little bit. Make it a little closer. I have to do a whole different set dynamic. The guy showed up at 2 in the morning. He landed in New York. So we're going to do the what he flew here to do. He's very excited about it, so I don't know at what point today we will do that. But I'm going to go ahead and do it myself and then have him on another podcast. Okay. All right. Let me push it closer over here. No, don't do that. I did my frankincense. Okay. Let's see who's here. I don't know why the light is not working, but that's another, we already know. Okay, I gotta get I can't get the smoke resin out of this. People think, oh God, did you shit on this, Fernando? Some people, oh, it's so funny, it's so cute, it's so funny. But the resin, the gun, that's what I did today. But I had no idea that it would stain the glass like that. Until I can get it out. I'm gonna have to buy another one. Okay, let us see who's here. Goddess of Alchemy. Goddess of Alchemy, I read what you sent me. Well, I read the text. Yeah. Let's talk. I think we did already, no? I saw you. Great questions, great comments. Let's see. Hi, Wasilla, Phoenix, USP, Food and Water Music. Excellent. Moonstar 2025. Babyface Bastard, how are you? Okay. Phoenix, a Pisces fan from the Middle East here. Hey, how are you? Well, then this video must be for you. Since I'm dressed, according to how the religion, the way of life in that part of the country. I was in the Middle East. I was in Saudi Arabia last year. And then I went to a few other places out there. I wanted to go to Iraq. Well, there were some oil refineries in Iran burning at the time when I went, and that smoke was going all the way from Iran to Iraq and all the way to Saudi Arabia. You could see the smoke burning in Iran from Iraq. Yeah, that was fascinating to see. Terrible though, the money spent on that. What did that? The Daniela Barazela. Thank you, Barazela. What? No, Barregesa. Hey, Uncle, did you see the Netflix movie? I recommended you Extinction. Yes, I saw the movie Extinction. I saw it and I actually addressed it, hoping that you would catch it. The what I had to say. It was exactly. Oops. Ooh, the primordial egg is a little tilted. Are you drunk? Ooh, no, let me not joke when I have this on. Yeah, no joking. No, listen, it was exactly when, but I say that when I tell you that it was exactly like I had dreamt it, and except that the ships didn't look like that. The ships didn't look like that. They actually looked more terrifying, because of their size. Remember V? Not V. Well, Victory, yes, but no, I meant Independence Day with Will Smith. It's gonna be something like that. Now, watching the movie Independence Day, uh, it was scary. I was uncomfortable in that scene when they all came in. It felt so terrifying because we've never experienced something like that before. And even in a movie, it leaves you to contemplate, oh God, thank you, Jesus, that this is not real and that things like this can never exist. Well, hello, guess again, which is why they're making these movies and making them now with more frequency. So yes, I did see the movie, and well, someone can say, right, or one can say, well, Fernando, you're making all this up. Ain't nobody coming. Ain't nothing happening. What you said came from a movie. There's a movie. Well, I had no idea that Netflix made a movie like that. No idea. 2018. And it really disturbed me because how could they make a movie exactly like in my dreams and visions? I mean, exactly. I could have been the writer. I could have been the director. Scene by scene, cinematography, director of photography, the same thing. Down to the dolly grip, best boy. I could not believe how, I mean, it's like someone came in my mind and stole my thoughts and made a movie. That does happen. Oh, you'd be surprised. Who else is here? Akeem, how are you? Yes, Iraq is in chaos. We are classifying the same thing I've been talking about in the last few series. Was Lucifer the archon of the morning star? Yes. Can I please talk about the seven daily seasons and their connection to the seven planets? What can I say? They are vices. There's nothing really to say. I mean, explain what? I mean, it's a fabrication that the church used. Yeah, each planet has to sing. And I mean, there's no explaining that. I mean, I don't know how to break it down. I mean, it's like Venus rules, all the virtues of Venus has a polarity of the evil side of Venus. And that's what the seven deadly sins emulate. They emulate the negative or demonic aspects of the virtues of the planets, which you all know, right? And so that's why. Iron mark archives are important because they're still there and they are influencing the Mexicans that live in present day Mexico. Someone is calling me, but I'm on the stream. Chaquanapula is okay. Okay, there we go. Roman archons, they're all important. They're all important. Doesn't matter because Mayans may not be here no more, but the Spanish are here. And the outcomes of that influence the Mayans are still the ones influencing the Spanish now. They haven't gone anywhere. Maybe the memory and record of the race that was there before the Spanish came is gone, but the beings are still there. No, there is no race of evolved beings inside the earth. We do have beings, though, that live inside the earth, within the bowels of the earth, yes. But these are, again, nature archons or nature spirits that need to stay inside the earth. They are the ones that keep the earth in a spherical form. The reason why the earth doesn't fall apart is because these beings are inside of it, holding the globe. Just like Atlas is holding the planet Earth. I mean, of course, in reality, there is no man holding the earth, but what it represents is that the earth is in space and something is holding the planet. It doesn't fall into free space or any of the other planets. So the galaxies, they don't fall in space. Something is holding them. So the atlas holding the earth, is a symbol of an anchorage that the earth is resting on some form, which we now know is dark matter. The force itself, the energy itself, is dark energy, but the scaffolding of the cosmos is dark matter, which was recently discovered. And that's the scaffolding of the universe. The whole is black, it holds things together. But that's not the only thing. The beings are inside too. Again, we have to talk about the beehive. You study the beehive, you understand the grand scheme not only of our planet, but of the cosmos. The beehive. Take a book, read about it, it breaks down all the different functions of the bees. What they do, to how they die, how they mate. You've got to, if you really want to understand how this planet operates, you need to read an academic, anthropological, or maybe botany, something, but it has to be scientific, on beehives and how they're formed and the culture of beehives. It has a culture. It's just not a perfunctory assembly line machine of making honey. It also shares a culture, which is very rare in the kingdom of insects and phyla. So just to let you know how very, very precious the bees are and the concept of the beehive. And the planet that rules bees is Venus. Venus rules culture. Of all the planets, 7 planets, the planet that gave us culture is Venus. And here I am making a reference to the beehive, which we can see this imprint of culture and relatedness, like we humans do. We see that with the bees. How could that happen? They're not mammals, they're insects. It belongs to a phyla. We never thought that they would have that kind of association. So we're always learning and discovering things. And the least amount of knowledge that you think you will never find, you'll find it exactly where you thought you least will find it. Yeah. Okay. A couple of more hey, and we go on. So I recently took up beekeeping. It's wonderful stuff. After you die, you meet light beings called the Council of Elders to talk about the life you just lived. Is that true? That's correct. That's what that movie, Defending Your Life, with Meryl Streep, it was all about. Do the 7 chakra stones help with banishment and containment? Yes, they do. Omar, welcome into the chat. Pronounced Vakia. Hello. That boy. Yes, sir. How are you? How would the war end between Jehovah and the archons end? Well, I personally don't know, but according to the Bible and according to other biblical texts from other cultures, the Jehovah will be defeated and thrown into a prison for what he's done, creating the world and calling himself the supreme God and cutting everybody else out. and creating a world of duality and cause and effect. But he will be let back out again, like it says in the Bible. And Satan, that old devil, shall be cast into the bottomless pit and bound for 1,000 years, and then he will be let back out. That's in Revelation. And that last phrase, and he will be let back out, is symbolic of nature and life repeating itself all over again, and the cycle beginning all over again. But now it will no longer be called the Earth period. It will be now the Vulcan period, which is to come. And when that ends, in the hundreds of millions of years, we're in the Earth period, and it's currently over 200 million years old. And we don't know the actual time, but we're thinking maybe 300 million, 4 more. When that ends, then that's when the great cataclysm comes and destroys the age. And it happens during the period. So the destruction of our solar system and our planet is not happening anytime soon, because we are still living in the Aryan epoch, in the Earth period. And the destruction that we read about, like the deluge and stuff like that, that's seen in every race and culture, we've heard me talk about it. That happens when the period ends, not the age. In the epoch, we may have a cataclysm, but it won't be the one that destroys the entire system. Maybe the Earth will be replenished, refurbished, but not the solar system. At the end of the period is when everything dies, everything is destroyed. The book of Revelation is talking about the end of the Earth period, not the age or the epoch. It's a difference. So you can rest easier and know that that's not going to happen. We are still in the Earth period, and we have a couple of more eras to go through before we finish the epoch. But we're a long way from finishing the period. All right, and I'm going to do a separate video and do like a scale, time measurement line, and give you an approximation. Okay? An approximation. Okay, classification of archons. Okay, there are many archons, many archons. I already told you how complex and almost an impossibility to really give a very responsible and accurate. I'm sorry, I have to fix the circle. In Islam, it's very important that this is worn correctly. Okay. Otherwise, it is an offense to both Islam and Allah. Okay. Okay, here we go. Now, the problem is, and I'm still kind of like conflicted as to if I should continue to do this series or not. Only because it's I don't know if it can actually serve you as far as getting to know what to look for. See, there's a part of me, I guess that's the human part of me, that still doesn't believe what I'm telling you. There's a part of me that doesn't believe what I'm telling you. And then they tell me, oh, no, it is true. So you better keep on going. Again, as a priest, my job is to stay neutral and answer to the Creator and deliver the message that I'm supposed to deliver. But damn, it's a lot to take in. As I am going through these series and doing these series on archons that I myself know very little other than my own, I didn't realize that I have to now do this. Because I spent all morning today looking for any information on the internet concerning archons and what they have to say about them. And only the Gnostic teachings have true, accurate representations. So, because I had a dream last night, and in the dream, my archons were telling me that I have to break down the classifications because it will come in handy. I'm like, damn, if you say that, then that means that we're gonna have close contact with these people, with these beings. And they're like, yeah, don't you think so? And in the Bible, it does say. See, there was a time when the archons were visible to humans and walked with man side by side. But then they decided to leave. I can in the Bible. There's a verse in the Bible, and I'm gonna have to go to the church and talk to a minister, so he can so I can give him the quote, and he can tell me where to look them up. In the I've read the Bible many times, but I'm getting older, and I don't remember the verses and chapters, and I have to remember them. So I'm gonna go to one of the one day I'll go to a church and have the ministers give me the actual verse and chapters to where find these particular ones. Most of the others I can find in quote. The other ones, I might need a pastor to help me locate where they are in the Bible. But I know it's there. But there's a verse that says, "Now listen there. I shall not always walk with you, for you must stay, and I shall leave, but I shall return." So it tells you that they're going to leave and leave us to our devices, and then they're going to return. It does tell you that. So there was a point where there was contact with humans and archons. And now our nature spirit, those that came from outside, our quadrature, it's in the Bible. And it's in the other religious texts as well. That's why I always keep the Torah, the Talmud, or the Book of Splendor, and I keep the Quran, of course. That's when it's right up there, the Quran. And of course, I got the King James Bible, because all of them are connected. And all of them relate to the Messiah, the Christ, and the crucifixion, all including Islam. So it's important to incorporate them all because they are important. And the doctrines that are in these texts are sacred. They are taken seriously. I certainly take them seriously. As you see, I adorn them, take them very seriously, and live and abide by them. Now, the thing that now I have to do, which is kind of like I put a step up a notch, is that I've been called to give you the classifications of the archons, which means that at some point I will also come into contact with many of them. So like that I can teach the collective of who they are, how they look like, what they are, and what are their superpowers and characteristics. It's almost like Stan Lee's Super Friends, what is it? Then Marvel Comics superheroes. We could look at archons like that. They have these abilities that Stan Lee's Superman and Batman and all that have. And it's interesting because there was a time during the Golden Age, which we know very little about, which does describe that humans were far more advanced than they are now. And what brought about their demise is their own mind intelligence evolving to such a degree that it absorbed the ego and personality. Remember, the ego, the personality, the soul are babies. They're evolving along with everything else. There is going to be a time when the ego controls completely. There's going to be a time when only the personality controls completely. And there's only going to be a time when only the soul controls completely. It's like everybody gets their part to play. The black race was the first race and the most powerful on the planet. Then came the other races. Black race was in power at one time. Now it's the Aryan white race in power. They too will win at one point, and then the Asian race in China will rise to power. Everybody gets a chance to play. What is it? What's the song? How the song go? Oh damn! I wanted to tie it up to a song. Everybody gets it. Everybody gets his day in the sun. Everybody. White people ruled the world. They're privileged, but there was a time where blacks did. There was a time where the Reds did, or the Indians, Aztecs. Now, all races play a role in being in charge of the age. That's not different. We're knowing that now because more truth is being delivered and discovered. It's all a game, all a game. And then in the end, we started out with one race. When we return back to God, when all this is over, we will evolve towards, again, one race. The snake biting its tail, circle of infinity. You see, and it repeats itself. The great, for example, and I have to discuss this prelude before going into the arcane classification, because a lot of the stuff that has been happening in our planet, our solar system, or anything that affects our even daily lives, is related to these arcanic beings. They were there from the very beginning of the Adam and Eve story and are still members of the soap opera and playing major roles. I'll take a pause here and see what some of you have to say. All right, Mr. Magoo, where are you? Where are you? Oh, here we go. Is the honey healing even though it has so much sugar? Yes. Agina Moon. Joshua Sarat. How do you know if you're being initiated into being a shaman? You know because the high priest will let you know that you are and that you need to be initiated. Omar Ortiz. Thanks, Fernando. I managed to get control of my passenger. Okay. Finally achieved it in the amazing. Excellent. Finally achieved it in Medellin, Colombia. Oh, Medellin, Colombia. I love that place. Haven't been there in years. Colombia is a very mystical place. Also, it's another tourist country, Colombia, and you can see and feel the sensuality, not just in the country, but in its people. Okay, that boy, you're welcome. What should we focus on doing the most in preparing for the great invasion and new beings coming in? Well, first of all, be morally and spiritually sound, grounded. Continue to pray to God. If it's Jesus, if it's anyone, continue your prayers, because that's not going to change that. Know that these beings are not here. According to my sources, I could be wrong because you don't know who to trust. But my own feeling, because at this point I have to go with my own feeling and how I feel. And I normally don't incorporate my feelings in this. I try to stay as objective as possible. My lips are dry. And it is going to, the preparation is to stay spiritually faithful to your cause. Pray to God to always, as you've always been doing, for clarity, vision concerning the matter. And if you feel in your heart that you are a good person, you've done nothing wrong, then you're good. If you are on the other side and you feel you've done bad and doesn't mean that you do. Make a 180 change, a 180, and you'll be good. Because remember, you guys are young. You guys are in your 20s, early 30s. This ain't for you. It's for us, for me, and the ruling class, and our 50s and 60s. Fucked up this planet with the things that we've done and left nothing for you to inherit worthwhile. Again, why the millennials are always so angry. This is why the millennials are so angry. And I saw a podcast today, and they were talking about the millennials. There were some people, some experts, putting the millennials down. Then there was others that were saying just how beautiful and how powerful millennials are. And I, of course, agree with the latter. I think millennials are the ones that are going to turn this around. I think it is the millennials that they're tough, very intelligent, resourceful, and people are not giving them their proper credit. I think that the problem is that they don't want to listen to us, and they have a reason why they don't want to listen to us because we fuck things up. My only problem is that I don't want the millennials to get too cocky and think that they got this. and avoid counseling and advice from the older folks because you still need guidance. In spite of your attitudes and like oh, they could be nasty. And I have to put myself in the position of, well, I'm Uncle Fernando, and if they get nasty, I'm gonna be a right nasty. I'm not gonna be nasty, but hey, I'm gonna pow your hand. Listen, you won't talk to your uncle like that. You won't talk to your father like that. No. Let's have some manners. Let's have some class. You're not an animal. Remember, we came from that. Let's not go back there. Yes, you're angry, and let's address the anger. So I'm going to do a video exclusively for the millennials, and it will be titled Millennials. And I'm going to teach these old blue bloods just how wrong they are about millennials. They're not looking at the deeper issue that's affecting millennials, and it's easy to dismiss what their complaints or even their scorn is. You don't have to see it because you're in your ivory tower there, not seeing what your effects and policies are causing down below to the rest of the population. And these are the people that are going to go into your fucking house with torches and flames and burn down the plantation. It's people like the millennials that will do that. And I'd be right there with them. Right there. I was born in the 60s and I remember. I'm a marcher. Okay? So I'll be right there at home. Because sometimes it takes aggressiveness to make change. And when you have people who are not interested in making change for the betterment of others, then you have to take them out drastically. Just like the Bolsheviks of Russia, the takeover of Russia when the communists take over, the Bolsheviks killed overnight and took over. Oh, you got what? The Leningrad and the Bolsheviks that started Russia take over overnight. Russia lost total power and control, and then gave rise to the proletariat. So and sometimes it takes tough people to do that and make drastic measures. And the millennials are just the right type. They are the igniters. The igniters. And I mean, God, I'm talking all this much and did not say a single word about the classification. But look, you know me. This is a classification of knowledge that has been watered down and compartmentalized. So in a sense, this is another form of classification. And it's classified information that is not made private. Here you go. I saved myself. So that's why I didn't say pop anything in the header. I didn't put a pop 5 or part 6. Just left it like that. Okay, so I can get away with it. It's a classification. We're talking about classified information. So it fits. So therefore, I'll end the video and then do another one and then go back and do the regular schedule. But that is what's going on. I will be doing readings tonight. Harmony is the first on my list. Latasia. She's going into the school and she paid for birth chart. We got to do that. Got to see her. And a few other people. Genesis, I've not heard from. I think Ariana Greenfield, Lanique. Did I talk to you? I have not heard from Lanique yet, and she paid. I have not heard from Lanique. Fidel, Christina Douglas, where are you? And Nairobi Williams, where are you? And Najiba, I believe I spoke to you. Yes, so these people got to get back to me because I don't think I forgot. I have your names right here. So I'm still looking for people who are, and I have another list that came in. Miss Farmer just called me this morning. So keep it coming because we're not doing anything on Christmas Day or Christmas Eve or New Year's because of this hacking going on. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. So protect you. Okay, so that's what I'm doing everything now. Guys, thank you. I will talk in the next one. I will title it Classification Part 2. Here, let me tell you now, I'm going to talk about the grays. I'm going to talk about the insectoids and go into deeper classification and subclassification. And I have to do this by going to the altar and going into deep trance and meditation in order to get the answer. So it will be a couple of hours. I do plan to start the readings at 6 or 7 p.m. And I won't be in the air and give dedication to Sunday because God did do the world in 6 days and rested on the 7th. So in honor of the 7th day, I will not, and I'm going to change it permanently where I will not do any kind of work on a Sunday. So they don't get mad because I got to honor that. Guys, please donate. Please call. Please pray for the world. Pray for each other. And we talk tomorrow. I didn't feel like saying, follow me here, follow me. I hate doing that. Alrighty, bye.